Just a couple of weeks ago, I harvested all my celery from this bed, and the peppers, as you can see, are taking over. So let's talk about why I make sure to make room for celery in both my spring and my fall gardens. Now, celery may not appear on many gardeners' must-grow lists, but it's definitely on mine. Store-bought celery is actually sprayed heavily, and because its stalks act like a giant sponge, it absorbs those chemicals right into the crisp part we actually eat. When I grow it at home, I don't need to spray anything, and in my experience, the flavor is better than store-bought. But celery did take me a few years to learn how to grow. Once I learned how to grow it, I routinely harvest it both in the spring and in the fall. Today, I'm gonna take you back a couple of weeks when I harvested my celery in this garden, and you'll get to see me taste test 4 different varieties I grew side by side. Now, if you didn't grow celery in the spring, it's a great crop to grow in the fall. And if you wanna get started, I've created a free celery quick start growing guide for you. Just scan the QR code or check out the link in the description. Okay, let's turn back the clock to a couple of weeks ago when I harvested my celery from this bed. The first variety here that I'm going to harvest is a new variety to me. This is Chinese pink celery. I have heard about it and it's really pretty, but I've never grown it, never tasted it. So we'll see how it compares. I can already tell that the stalks themselves aren't as large as some of the other ones, but not bad looking. Let's see. Kind of chewy, not super flavorful. Slight bit bitter, but not bad. Definitely not my favorite. This is more, I think, just honestly a pretty celery. But if I would have harvested it earlier before it got hot, maybe it would have been better. Not a huge fan right now, but I think it'll still be good if I chop it and freeze it, and then I could put it into chilies and things like that where it's an ingredient. I'm just not sure that I'm just gonna be snacking on this by itself that much. But one thing I do like to do with my celery is if I don't have anything going in right away, I will leave this stump here, and a lot of times it will regrow. Now, a lot of times that depends on how hot it gets in the summer. Sometimes it may just bolt completely and then there's no use, but sometimes it'll come back for a whole second harvest in the fall, which is a smaller one. It's definitely not gonna be as large as this, but there's always that potential. I think this is my best harvest so far. So I know when it comes to comparing what we grow in our garden to the grocery store, we don't really like to compare it because what we get out of the garden is usually so much better than the grocery store. But celery has been one of those crops where it's been hard for me to get a one-to-one comparison, especially here in Arkansas where it gets really hot really quickly. Celery doesn't like the heat, but it also doesn't like the cold, so it makes it a little bit more challenging, which makes me think one other reason this may be the best celery harvest I've ever had is because we didn't get hot really quickly this spring. So I think that's really helped. Having a long stretch of mild temperatures, I think, has made a huge difference in the celery. I'm so excited about this. I just washed this one off. Let's see how it compares to taste. Now that is good celery. A tiny amount of bitterness in the aftertaste. Again, I really think that probably has more to do with the temperatures. We've gotten plenty of water. One of the stalks you may have seen had rotted just a little bit. We've gotten way too much rain the last week or two. But much more crisp, so much easier to chew. This is gonna be hard to compete with, but the Kelvin, I noticed, looks a lot larger. So I'll be curious to compare the taste of the Tango and the texture, because texture is everything when it comes to celery, and the Kelvin, and see which one I like the best. All right, now let's see how it tastes. All right, here goes Kelvin. Maybe a little less of the bitterness that the Tango has, which, by the way, this bitterness in a fall planting will not be there. This is all because of the spring. I don't know if it's this particular stalk or the variety, but it's not as juicy as Tango. I think Tango actually tastes better. The Kelvin's a good option. Definitely better than the Chinese pink. Yeah, that may end up going to the chickens, I'm not sure. It depends on how much we'll have. I usually end up freezing more than I ever need. But Kelvin, definitely strong. I have one more over here though, and it's a totally different variety. It's a Utah celery that I forgot that I planted until I looked at this tag. So I'll have to compare that because that was one that's popular with a lot of people. I've avoided planting it in Arkansas because it's called Utah, and Utah's climate is nothing like mine, so I was a little nervous how that would do. but I'll definitely compare that once I harvest my final Kelvin. Just remembered that celery was one of those crops that's supposed to give you extra electrolytes and maybe some salt. After taste testing all that, I'm feeling very thirsty. Another good one, very tall, maybe a little less, but it's actually more uniform. Yeah, this is good. Okay, let's try Utah. Ooh, it's a lot smaller. At least this one is much smaller than before. All right. I'd say it's very similar to Kelvin. Yeah, pretty close, but still pretty small. However, the one on the other side looked a little larger, so let's see how it compares. Still a little bit smaller, but bigger than the other Utah, but smaller than the other ones. Now, these Utah varieties were on the northern side of this bed, but they still got plenty of eastern and western sun, so I'm not really sure that the sun had anything to do with it. If anything, it should have helped shade it a little bit, especially as we got warmer. So my guess is that the Kelvin and the Tango are actually a little bit more adaptable to my climate, whereas Utah may do really well in someone else's climate that has a little bit more of a mild start to your spring. And I don't know, I may even try Utah and see if it does better in the fall. Maybe compare all of these to each other in a fall garden to see if there's a difference in the way one grows in the spring and one grows in the fall. I've definitely seen that to be the case with other crops like carrots, which I will start to harvest next. With this fantastic celery harvest, I'm going to have plenty to freeze for the winter. That means for me, for my fall crop, I'll just focus on a few plants to grow fresh. There's nothing like going to my fall garden on Thanksgiving Day and harvesting fresh celery for my dressing. And some sage as well. But harvesting celery on Thanksgiving Day and into the fall actually starts right now by starting seeds inside. And if that's something you'd like to do, don't forget to download my free celery growing guide. It'll give you instructions on how to grow this crop in the fall and in the spring. Once you get the hang of it, I'll bet it'll stay a staple in your garden like it is in mine.